According to a report from the Daily Beast, Ginni Thomas was a frequent visitor to the White House when Donald Trump was in office, which is when she would present the former president with a list of people in his administration that she felt were disloyal to him, which in turn would lead to mass firings. According to the Beast, ever since she became a welcome guest at Trump's residences, Thomas, an influential and longtime conservative activist and wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, had perfected a proven formula of enthralling and manipulating the president's emotions and mood. On multiple occasions throughout the Trump era, Thomas would show up in the White House, sometimes for a private meeting or a luncheon with the president. She often came armed with written memos of who she and her allies believed Trump should hire for plum jobs and who she thought Trump should promptly purge. That she distributed to Trump and other high-ranking government officials. Those lists were described as problematic and helped to sow chaos at an already chaotic White House, leading Trump to fly into rages and to demand both firings and immediate vetting of hires she recommended. According to former White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham, Trump was obsessed with gossiping with Thomas. Trump loved talking to Ginni so much because he loved hearing about who was a never-Trumper or allegedly one. He loved people who would flatter him, as Ginni would do, but also his obsession with loyalty aside, he just loved to gossip all the time. That's something else he got out of his series of meetings at the White House with Ginni Thomas. Thomas is no stranger to being a faithful follower, and while her time spent at a large group awareness training cult, LifeSpring, has been previously reported, just yesterday, Steve Hassan, an expert on cults, published a video of him interviewing Ginni Thomas in 1989. Take a look.
I think another issue that maybe hasn't been discussed is when you come away from a cult, you have to find a balance in your life as far as getting involved with fighting the cult or exposing it. And kind of the other angle is getting a sense of yourself and what was it that made you get into that group, and what open questions are there that still need to be answered. And I think I'm struggling with a balance between that. I want to expose LifeSpring. I want to keep other people from going through that experience. But I also don't want to go overboard in that regard so that I'm not, so that I can reconnect with my own needs in a spiritual way, which I still haven't done. I still have so many questions, and I still have so many things that I want to talk to about with other people and find people who believe as I do and who are searching as I do. And so all those things that got me to LifeSpring are still there. And I guess I struggle with not going overboard and fighting the cults, but I know that's important too.
LifeSpring, whose members were encouraged to strip naked and mock one another's body fat, is mostly known as a controversial motivational group. Thomas eventually broke away from the group and began working for the Chamber of Commerce, opposing comparable worth pay for women. Clarence and Ginni met in 1986 at a conference on affirmative action, which they both opposed. After a stint at the Civil Rights Office of the Education Department, he was running the EEOC, she was an attorney at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and mused that year to Good Housekeeping about someday running for Congress. Although she had extracted herself from LifeSpring, which she would denounce as a cult, but was still attending meetings held by a cult deprogramming organization, and she took her husband along to one. He would describe her as a gift from God, and they married in 1987 at a Methodist church in Omaha. It was her first marriage and his second, the Times reported. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to visit us at rawstory.com, and if you'd like to see more of the Raw Report, please like and subscribe, and join others who like their news raw too.